Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Dice Hour. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Zee Garcia.
I'm Camilla.
I'm Chris Yee.
I'm Joey Evans.
Hey, today is Hot Takes.
Part two.
Part two.
I was going to say the same thing. Before we start our video, we want to do some shout-outs to some of our GameFound backers. We want to say
I'm going to do some hot takes on these fools.
thank you to Victor and Oscar Hagman,
Hate, man.
to Ryan Starbeck.
Yeah, you got a star in your back.
Tom just says, tell Mike I love his content. Tell Z I love his content more.
Jokes on you.
Oh, where's the hot take?
No, man. Some people don't deserve the hot takes.
Mike Heller,
Oh,
Oh, man.
the Delwick family at Eagle Owl Mountain, Sweden.
That's a fun name.
Louise,
That's a cool sounding
Eagle Owl
place.
Mountain?
Eagle
You
Owl.
can't do
I'm
an
very
Eagle Owl.
confused.
No.
Louise
Same time.
Mozo
Sweden.
Dutton, Joshua Arica and future Dice Tower viewer Levi Tate,
Aw.
the Sheep
Oh.
River Hook Board Game Club in Iceland. Also,
River Hook? That sounds like a murder
Sutter
camp.
Crocky, Keith the Cat, and Marcus Brisman.
The goat.
America has really bad names for towns. Listen to these other countries. They're like Sheep Hook or
Eagle Owl.
What
River
were Erica
Hook.
and Joshua's child's name?
Levi?
Levi. Something.
Levi.
Hey.
I think, yeah.
Nice.
Oh.
Congratulations.
It's a good, strong name for a future Dice Tower viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said it.
Denim.
All
Hot
right.
take.
Welcome to our second Hot Takes. A couple things of note before we start. One, if you sent me a hot take and it's not here, I'm saving them. If you want to send one in for the future, send it to tom@dicetower.com. Call it Hot Takes, and it'll go to the right spot.
Or maybe it wasn't hot enough. Or too hot.
We're
We're like a 2-alarm fire.
There was one I did not put in. Okay, but
I
anyway.
want to know
Too
that
hot.
Can
one.
we talk about it later?
Join Patreon. We'll talk about it.
Secondly, this is all in good fun. You're-
Oh, we're going to get spicy.
Yes.
No, wait, there's actually no real, but we're just going to tell you what we think about it. If we disagree with you, that doesn't mean we think you're bad, probably.
You're just wrong.
Hot takes.
All right,
Oh, boy. Okay.
we got 30 of them.
Alright.
Let's get started with number one.
Here we go.
All right.
If there isn't a vertical printing on the side of your box, I think less of you as a company, says
I mean,
Brady.
substitute company for person, but yeah, I agree.
Wow.
We're good.
Well, you doubled down on this. Wait, what?
I personally store my boxes vertically. And so I like when it's there. I don't... it
Do you
doesn't
like
ha-
vertical printing? It doesn't matter to me if the game's running down the side.
Yeah, it doesn't haunt me. What I do hate, though, is I think that there is one correct side to do the vertical print if you're going to do it.
Oh, which one?
I put my game boxes into the shelf like it's a book. So the front cover is on the right side.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Right? Certain companies put the vertical print on that side. A very few select do it on the other.
Yes, now
And
that is
drives me
bad.
bananas.
That makes me
Okay, because
crazy.
the box opens the other way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or are we going to talk about the monsters that don't even put the name on the side?
That's true, too.
I mean, they shouldn't even be
The
in
number of
business.
games in our library, we have to put stickers on the side so you know what
Yes.
the game is.
Does that bother you in your
It's-
personal collection, though?
It bothers me globally.
He breaks into other people's collections. That's what he means.
You wake
No,
up on Christmas
It bothers me
morning,
because
there's a
even if I love the
sticker.
game,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, and I might miss it, not remembering what it is.
For me, I have a smaller collection, so it doesn't like I know all the games in there, and I know them by sight, so it doesn't bother me necessarily. But I do prefer it to have the title, but I don't think that's. I don't feel strongly on that one.
It's all kind of a moot point because you shouldn't store games like books because they're not books. You should store them like games, i.e. horizontally.
I store some vertically, and I want the title to be designed to be vertical. You know, not.
You should
on
get
its side.
books if you want
I
that.
have books.
Read
You have a
them.
Kindle.
No.
All right, let's
I
get to a
do.
slightly spicier take here.
Spicy meatball.
Calic shelves are overrated.
Oh.
Okay. New convert here.
Says Jason. He says they are used because it's expected, and that's what good board gamers use. They take up more space than normal shelves, causing people to complain that they don't have adequate space for their games, when a better shelf would give them that space.
Good
All right.
gamers follow
Let me-
orders.
I want to talk directly to Jason because I was where you were.
Get him to join the cult.
You have Big Lots shelves because I did. They were $20. I then got Calix's, and my life has changed. My life has changed because I can go horizontal.
Yeah.
I cannot pull it out and then be like, crap.
Like everything falls
Everything
over
falls.
in a
So
Big
now,
Lots one.
Now, I will say I do want some bookshelves because there are certain games that won't fit on a Calyx.
Right.
So I think having 1 or 2 bookshelves is good.
Well, bookshelves are good for the small and the large.
Yes.
But any standard, anything in the middle, the Calyxes work because they're also supported more regularly. You know, they go down to 14 inches of space as opposed to like a bookshelf, which is going to be, what, 36 or so, you know, depending
40.
on the size of it. And so those shelves start to bow. I think this
Mike might be
Mike did
low
go out
off.
again, so it is turning itself off.
That's weird.
But it had full batteries.
So while they
Anyway,
look at
so-
that,
I wonder if that
go
is-
Yeah, I
ahead.
was gonna say,
yeah.
so they do start to bow, was my point. Like they can't handle the weight.
They
for a
do,
long
and
time.
Maybe it's
also
this one. Hold on.
I'm still on.
This is
No, it's
definitely
bizarre.
dying.
That's so bizarre. I think for me, the proof is in the pudding. Like, show me the replacement shelves for Calyxes.
Calyxes are
I haven't
deeper.
seen them yet. Like, that's the thing. The Calyx has the depth.
I didn't know that before I bought it. Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
I didn't know they were that much deeper than the bookshelf. The bookshelf.
Yeah, the bookshelf to a standard sort of Ticket to Ride box, you have the lip. I don't
Back.
really want. I don't
Right,
really want the
maybe.
games hanging out over the side
Yes.
like that. I don't mind other shelves, but the Calyxes seem pretty good. There's a little wasted space, but it's not, egregious. I mean,
Right.
I'll go farther. I mean, I really like the shelves we have from Allplay. They're our sponsor, but I really like these. I like they're similar to Calyx, but they're longer and wider. I like these for everything. I don't care about board games. I just like having my stuff separated into things. I think it looks better. And if you have too many games to fit in your Calyx shelves, you got too many games, I feel.
Hot take!
I'm not like a Calyx fanatic. I just like separated shelves, though. I like them a lot. I use them for everything.
Yeah.
I think it has a good uniform look, and so it helps because games look so different from one another. They're innately a little chaotic, having a shelf full of stuff, and so I think that it just kind of helps compartmentalize visually. They're nice. I don't think that you're less of a gamer if you never want to get a Calyx shelf.
Sure.
But they're nice at what they do.
I think it's one of those things too that I don't like to buck the system, but when people shove IKEA down your throat all the time, you just want to find an alternative. You're like, I'm not going to join your Calyx.
I
cult.
agree on that. It's very similar
know?
to like Apple
Yes.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You meet someone who uses Apple all the time, you're like, maybe it's better, but you made me not want to buy
Exactly.
Right.
I won't do it just because you're so animated.
Seriously,
about it.
though.
My
Yeah,
life
put
with
an
the Calyx cult.
I think that was my, the other part of the point there is also that the IKEA shelves, I think, with that cube storage solution, are some of the best. Where it still
yes.
has a low price, they're lightweight but still sturdy. I've gotten the $20 Target one, and it doesn't hold up as well.
You
So
pull out a game and yourself does this.
right, exactly. I've gotten some from Big Lots, and I think those are very comparable, and so I don't have a problem with them. But I think IKEA is the one that's consistently the sturdiest. The off-brand, if you will, are exceptions to that. There are
Yeah.
some of the exceptions,
Yeah.
but the standard, I think, is IKEA.
And I think at the end of the day, we're also saying like, oh, something like this, but this is expensive if you own a lot of games.
That's it. Yeah.
It looks great, and you can modular, the whole thing together, but that's pricey. IKEA's pretty cheap.
And I will say IKEA's, the Calyx are sturdy. I anchored to the wall because it's included. I anchor my Big Lots ones to the wall so no one dies.
I think the Big
like,
Lot
'cause
ones I
those
was
are-
okay with, and I also got one from Walmart one time, and that was
Yeah.
okay. But the Target ones are terrible, and I also didn't get like the very base model of the ones at Walmart. I got like the mid-grade ones.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so you do have to. I think you have to be more careful with the off-brand ones.
David in the live chat says, well, we could go with the Dice Tower, wire rack library shelves.
Oof.
Those are wildly expensive,
Yes.
Yes.
and they look so industrial. They're fantastic for the
Yeah,
library.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if you invite me to a game day at your house and you have those,
It
I'm
is.
thinking I might get turned into a lamp.
Yeah.
I like them a lot, and I don't think they're that. I mean, the shelf itself is 110. It's those things on the sides that adds to the price.
Yeah, the bumper
But-
kind of
and
thing.
the wheel.
But you want those
But
so your
but
games
it
don't
looks
fall
like
off.
you're then
yeah.
in someone's bakery.
Yeah.
Rather than
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do
Which
another
we will go into your bakery.
spicy take here.
All right.
All right, we have dexterity games are not part of the board gaming hobby.
Whoa!
Hang on. This is what Patrick says.
What?
He says, there has never been a dexterity game that someone started the hobby in and thought to expand to board games afterwards. Their activities, not games. He's saying,
Microphone's out again.
Yeah, I just put new batteries in it, and it showed full batteries both times.
I think that battery indicator is just always going to show full.
I think it's a receiver.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
put another set
So
in.
another
and see.
set. This is getting fun.
Do we know, are these fully charged?
Nope.
They say they're good, right?
But I think you said
Oh,
the
there you go, here you
indicator
go.
might be wrong.
Oh, yeah. What's Tom got to say?
Okay. So,
Oh gosh.
you okay? Go ahead. He said
I'm gonna get them off.
oh no, he said I already read what he said. Never mind. But what he's saying though is that someone will come and they'll play pitch car and whatever.
Yeah.
And they're not a board gamer at all. They
Yeah.
wouldn't consider themselves a board game. I'm not agreeing with him necessarily. I'm just saying this is what he's saying. He's saying that people will just come up and play a dexterity game. It's an activity. You move on. It's the same. It's just a different hobby, I think is what he's saying.
The dexterity games are a different hobby. I think dexterity activities are a different hobby. If it has rules, structure like turns, and a winner, it's a board game. That's wild. No, it's okay to. And even if those people are like, I love dexterity, I don't know what worker or placing them is. There are other dexterity. They will still spread through the hobby to maybe try Minara. Because, I love stacking Jenga, but cooperative Jenga, let me try this. And no, that's a crazy thought that this isn't the same hobby.
I think it's one of those things that I can see why he says it, because I think that's prevalent in the industry where dexterity's become a bad word. Where I played games like, this is a dexterity game, and they're like, it's not. And you want to go, but it is, right? They don't want to say it. For some reason, a lot of gamers are like, oh, it has a dexterity element. But I think it's still a hobby board game.
We're not going to go down the route, but you could argue over what is dexterity game. Is air hockey a dexterity game?
Is billiards, right. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's not
true.
Is it a board game or not? Well, bowling's clearly not. Is billiards? Also no. But is his point that it doesn't really convert people into hobby board gamers? Because I guess it depends on the dexterity game. If you
Right.
teach someone flick 'em up, they might say, hey, what else is like this? I don't know, Western Legends. If you like this. then-
Right.
That's a good
Right.
point.
But Crokinole, sure, I don't know what the analog is. Sonora, maybe.
Right.
Yeah,
Is
no.
billiards not a board game, though?
It's a table game.
I wouldn't say. I mean,
No.
What if you miniaturize it?
Yes.
You mean,
How small do you have to go?
we're talking bowling and wonder bowling.
No, seriously, like if I take a billiards table about the size of this table right here, and I make it half the size, is it a board game?
Yes.
Can you
What
pack
about
it in a box?
If
Two-thirds
it's,
the size.
if it's on a table, see, it is a table.
yeah.
As soon as it becomes on the table, it's a board
Brilliant.
game.
Oh, I feel like a mad scientist.
Lord of the Rings Confrontation is almost not a board game anymore.
I think
it
a better
has a
hot take,
table.
what he said is that dexterity games are not gateway games. That I would agree on.
That they don't lead to other games?
Yes.
Well, wait until he plays Catan Soccer expansion.
Isn't that out already? We're never going to play it, so I won't know.
There's a Catan Soccer?
Yes. All right,
Yeah,
we're getting
a
way off
few
top.
years
Let's
ago.
go to
All
the
right.
next one. This is a mild take. The benefits of solo modes in games are underappreciated, says Rattleslaw. If you play a game with friends 3 times a year and once a year you pull out the solo mode, that's 33% more playtime. It also makes it easier to learn a game before you teach it to other people. And if your play group didn't love the game as much as you did, at least you can play the solo mode. Otherwise, it would get sold and collect dust. Obviously, he says, I mean good solo modes.
What was the middle thing he said? You can play it alone to learn it?
Yeah.
That's
No,
different.
wrong. No.
That's no.
That's a different game.
Right. If it's a
Mostly.
mode that you have to learn the game, then that's not helpful. I'd rather either just two-handed or just do my turn over and over again. Yes, I'm not going to know if I win or lose at the end, but that's not the purpose of me playing at that time.
Right.
You know.
I
You usually
agree.
don't finish those games when you play to learn.
Correct. Yeah.
I don't.
But I do think I
just
agree where he says that they are underrated, but it goes back to our previous conversation that it needs to be clear that it's a solo. When is it a 1 to 4 player game, and when is it a 2 to 4 player game with a solo mode included?
Yes, right? Because I might play, I don't know, Hadrian's Wall, right? I don't think it's going to be vastly different
Good
solo,
pull.
right?
I approve.
And playing that solo is probably not too different from the multiplayer experience, right? Oh, here's
Right.
3 cards that are shared instead of what other people draw. Cool, I can use that to learn the game, and then I'll play it with other people. But I think, if you're going to like learn a whole automa system, I don't want to learn a game plus learn the automata. But
Yeah.
that might just be me, right? I recognize.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good thing to have a solo mode be how you learn and then teach other people, first of all. Full stop right there. Be a solo mode. Don't be an on-ramp for the multiplayer. If your solo mode is, you put it in there for that purpose, you're doing it wrong, in my opinion. But I also think the solo mode needs to be logical. It needs to be somewhat the same game. You know, I feel like sometimes these solo modes get shoved into a game. You play the game with friends, and then you go and, you know, oh, I had a good time. I don't see him till next week. I want to mess with this game again. I want to do solo. And it's a radically different game using the same pieces. It's like, well, this is not, it gives me none of the same emotions, none of the same cadence, not the same vibe. That solo mode is not in the spirit of the thing. You're just shoving a solo mode in there. It's got to feel somewhat like the multiplayer experience.
I would like to say I love solo games and solo gamers, and everything you're saying seems wrong. I'm with you guys.
Voice of the people over here.
You also have to look at the fact if you like playing a game solo. If I'm going to play a game solo, I'd probably do a video game.
I don't
know.
mind
Okay,
solo,
well,
yeah.
No, I don't think. I mean, back to what he was saying. Like, yeah, if you play that game 3 times a year with people and pull it out 1 time a year for you, then yes, that solo mode is valuable and you know close to it. So I do think there is value in it. But I think back to the point of it depends on how it's marketed, how it's presented, how much does it change the game or feel like the game.
Or it's an afterthought.
Right, exactly. Or is it just for like, oh, so you'll buy it? It's like it shouldn't be a reason. It shouldn't be taped on as a reason to get me to buy the game. It should be just as developed as the rest and,
Sure.
and be in the spirit of the game.
You see the same thing, sometimes smaller amount, but higher percentage in solo games that like, or you can play with 2 here. It's
Like going back and forth, pretending you have
it's
a
like-
single brain. It's like, that's not a 2-player mode.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I could do that with any solo game.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's jump to the next one here. If you can figure this one out. Santi says, too many games are built for vibes or mechanics. Not enough designs are for experience or joy.
Yes, yes, and yes.
What do
What?
they mean?
I'm trying to parse this.
Let me explain this.
What does it mean by
I
vibes?
think there are some games out there that are built
I saw you looking
feel-
at me.
to feel clever, but you didn't enjoy it. I think sometimes experience or joy is underrated. It's like, this is just such a clever game. Did you enjoy it? Such a clever game. And I'm like,
Yeah.
is it enjoyable? Because here's the thing. To me, it's a personal thing. To me, it's a game. Because some people love Sudoku, you know, for the puzzle and all that stuff.
I do.
I have to enjoy the game too. Now, I enjoy Sudoku. I guess probably a bad example. But it's just one of those that's like, very unique. But do you enjoy the experience?
I mean, that's something we often talk about in our reviews is like, but what was the fun factor? Did I have fun?
Right.
You know, we can review a game and be like, I enjoyed this, and this is neat, and this was fun. I hadn't seen this before. Oh, that was interesting how that came out there. But at the end of the day, I didn't have fun.
I guess I don't understand. I know what you're saying, but he said vibes. I don't know what the difference between vibes and experience is.
Maybe it's when it's like,
Yeah.
this is a cozy game. Yeah, but is it any fun?
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Right, like, I don't know, I think that's what I
It
think
could
with
be that
vibes.
cozy, crunchy, tight, we say
Yeah.
sometimes. You know, clever might be a vibe, I suppose. Games that are built to be clever. In this game, you have a hand of cards, but they're facing out. The first time you heard that, your mind was blown, right?
Yeah.
You were like, oh, how cool. Was that game fun? What game was it? Do you remember the first one that did it? Probably not, because it was like it was cool to be cool, not to be fun. There's some designers out there like, and it doesn't mean that their games are always good, but like, why am I forgetting his name now? The guy who did Arkham Horror and Freedom 5 and stuff.
Lanius.
Lanius, yeah. Richard Lanius is a guy whose games are not usually innovative. Like his mechanisms are tried and true, off the shelf, if you would, mechanisms. But he like shoves fun in his games anywhere he can. He wants to give you a fun experience. You know what I mean? The games aren't clever. He's not trying to like pull a rabbit from a
That's a
hat.
good point. His games have a longer time, I think, in the zeitgeist. People enjoy it, I think.
I don't know. I doubt it, actually.
Really?
Because of the way we consume board games, you go, ooh, that's so clever, that's so interesting. Let me talk about this. Another one? So his games,
His games
Are you
stay.
eating your games?
yeah.
Yes. What
So
do you
his
do?
games, you actually go, oh, that's fun, that's neat. What a cool theme, what a neat world. But the mechanisms, because we love to, you know, show that off. there is a difference between a game just being fun with tried and true pieces, good combination of stuff, and then being like chic and clever and whatever. And that's not necessarily always fun.
There are not enough designs for experience or joy. That's an interesting part of the take, I think, right? Because
That's different for each person, you mean?
I'm sorry.
You mean it's different, like personally?
I think so, right? Like what kind of experience do you seek out of a board game? For some people, it is straight up just number crunching
Sure.
and
Yeah.
fighting debt or whatever. And
Oh. Yeah,
I mean,
that's
some
true.
people love that. That's an
Yeah,
experience
yeah.
to them. I fought against all the odds, and I ran my train company into a semi-profitable fourth quarter.
I
but
assume that's
sometimes-
fun though for them.
Right, but sometimes though it's more the way. If I say, Joey, you should play this game, it's a very important game. Capital V, capital I, capital G, and you're like, oh, it wasn't very fun for me, and I'm like,
That's not the point. It almost isn't the point, bro. You know what I mean?
right, and
It's
so
almost
that can
more like,
happen.
Yeah.
It's a good game. It doesn't matter if you had fun. Like, no. A good game is one I had fun with. Kind of full stop, honestly.
You had a good point too. Is like a unique mechanic almost makes fun in itself. Like Scout. So nobody's ever been able to not rearrange their hand or do certain things. Like this is clever. I've never done something like this before. You know.
And that could lead to some fun,
Right,
but
yeah.
not necessarily.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to a hot take here.
Here we go.
Shiny Happy Meeple says, too many really good games have art that looks like it was designed for a storybook aimed at 3-year-olds old.
Oh!
3-year-olds.
Ooh.
This is such a smarmy thing to say. The way he says, you almost need to capitalize really good games. You know what I mean? Because that's what he's saying, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't 100% agree, but I get his point. I think it's more of a cultural shift. If a lot of games today that with these cute animal things came out 30 years ago, I wouldn't even look at them twice. Because I would automatically assume, based on the art, that it was for children.
Yes.
We've had a cultural shift where buying Animal Crossing is for adults. Again, when I was a kid, no adult would have played Animal Crossing.
No adults play
Okay.
video
I
games.
agree. Well,
if
they'll
they did-
have them. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, like if they did, they would play Call of Duty, and you know what I mean, like that type
That's
of.
true,
That's
right.
the more like grown-up thing to do. Yeah, it's as a society we are more like
Fun.
live your inner kid. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Have fun, be a nerd. You do you, kind of
Right.
thing.
Whether it's Legos, whether it's Animal Crossing, whether it's whatever, there has been a generational cultural shift for sure.
That's true. You guys are not wrong. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this is. There's also plenty of games, really good games. The thing that I think bothers me about the sentence is the really good games part. It almost implies that like this artwork
Yeah.
belongs on bad games.
Right. Or
Oh, yeah.
or this game is worse because of this artwork. But which there are ones that I, as someone who really appreciates the artwork and the aesthetics of the game, there are ones that are not outside my taste. Where it's like I wish it had a different look. But I still love the game and I still play the game because I enjoy the game. And I feel like that's where I feel like this comment goes off. It's kind of like this game. It feels like this game is ruined because of the way it looks. I think that's what takes it too far.
Yes, and then you go a step further, and it's like this game doesn't need artwork. It's that good. It's that old grognard.
Oh,
like,
right,
The
right.
artwork is actually in my way. Could you please remove it? I'm trying to play a serious game.
Yes,
Like,
that's.
oh, goodness gracious. You know?
I also wonder what he talks about the storybook aimed at 3-year-olds, because a lot of those anthropomorphic animals or whatever would be great in a storybook for 3-year-olds. Does this guy
Right.
just hate anything with that theme?
He hates 3-year-olds.
That's
Shiny, happy people, you say?
Shiny Happy Meeple.
Well, REM would be suing if not.
All right. Next is from Kristen. She says, board gamers wildly underestimate how complex board games seem to the average non-gamer.
Yes, 100%.
And most welcoming,
Yes.
gateway, light, what have you,
Yes.
games are actually only welcoming to people who already had not just their foot, but one whole leg and possibly an arm in the hobby door.
1,000%. I keep ringing this bell every time we talk welcoming or simple or whatever. Some of the comments online, you see somebody will ask, like, I want to teach some games to my uncle. What do you recommend? The suggestions people make are just mind-blowing stuff, man.
I remember teaching Zombieside. I thought this is a starter game, and to non-gamers, like it's too confusing. I'm like, I mean, you have actions.
Yeah, and I think we
That's it.
Right,
You
and I
know?
think we also underestimate
man.
how much people not deep in the hobby don't mind sameness. You know what I mean? They don't mind.
Right.
We're like,
Yes.
oh, this is just Rook. It's like, yep, they want that. Oh, this is just Uno. Yep, they want that. Like, I think that we value innovation and new and clever mechanisms, but I think generally, like, mainstream, they want comfort. They want something they
Comfort
know.
and to not feel stupid are like two of the biggest
Yep.
driving factors to new people playing, like to people playing new games or just new gamers in general.
Well, to that point, right? I think of I love movies. I am not a
right, well, don't brag to
fancy cinephile person, right?
Okay, I don't know what that means.
I like if someone said, "Hey, here's a movie that you should watch,"
Citizen Kane.
and if, and if I watch this movie and it's really artsy and it's for film people, it's amazing.
He likes Pig, though.
I like Pig, right? But
Nicolas Cage's is Pig.
Cage.
It's
Pig.
horrible. Chris
Where's
is
my
like, it's the
pig?
best movie I've ever seen.
It's one of the top
putting a few
20
words in there.
cinematic.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
Like all of those words.
Okay, go ahead.
But that's the thing is if someone's like, I've seen a few movies. I want to get into some movies. You don't go straight to like the deepest
Right.
art house thing you can.
Right.
And you also then don't go like, well, this is lighter than that. This is the 2 steps lighter. No, like go to. I don't know if a human said I've never watched movies before.
It's true.
Where do you start? You don't start
Raging
with
Bull.
Inception.
right.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just-
that
yeah.
feels like what?
Give them some movies that are kind of fun.
Babe, Pig in the City.
Right.
Then
Then
Pig.
Pig.
Only pig-based movies.
They'll be like, this is what films are about? Okay.
You start Charlotte's Web. Move the Babe.
I didn't know you were allowed to make films not about pigs.
Hey, we're laughing about it, but it's true because
That's the equivalent of
that
both.
is actually the equivalent. When somebody, like, if you ever are showing somebody who's never played, our games, and you start setting up a game, and if at any point they ask you, oh, where are the dice to move? Stop.
Yep, you have the wrong game.
You have the wrong game. Back out. Play something lighter. Play something more in the, in the mass zeitgeist, if you would. Yeah.
And there are many people that play games only to have something to have a conversation over.
Yeah.
They want to sit
Right,
there and talk to each other.
absolutely,
And that's
absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On the other side, I have a friend who, when I was an accountant working at the accounting firm, super smart guy, his gateway game was Power Grid. But that's
Yeah.
because this guy was a huge nerd and liked crunching numbers, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Cater your gateway game to the person.
Tones of Dunshire.
And for most people, it's not Power Grid.
Right.
Yeah.
For most people, it is one of these
That,
things.
that is an exception with their personal experience and personality.
Yeah.
And that's great for them. I'm not downputting that
Yeah.
either. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, to this point, for the average non-gamer, we're looking at more globally here.
I agree. No, this is a
Yeah.
fantastic take. 100% agree. Yeah.
All right, Scott says the most serious part of the board game is deciding who gets to be X color. I believe Scott's hot take here, he followed up and said, now I'm super curious who has to be certain colors at the Dice Tower Roundtable. And I think that was the reason he put this hot take in.
So
There's only one of us.
This is the first moment I realized that was a thing.
I'm used to it. I don't know. I'm used to that color, so I'll try. If somebody else is that color, color's yellow, by the way, then I might move your pieces on the board. I don't mean to.
And I realized that. I thought it was one of those things like, it's my favorite color. But then I realized, no, it's so you don't move their pieces.
That's
Because
true. You
now
never
I'm
wear
like,
yellow,
I start
you
to
never-
be blue. But when I'm not blue, I'm like, I'm so sorry. We have to rewind about 3 turns.
Yeah.
I've been moving your piece.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I get it now, you know?
It's bad that you shouldn't. If you've never done it, don't start, kids.
I had to untrain it when I came here because I had 2 colors before. I was either purple or yellow. And now I can't be either.
Purple.
I'm working hard. I'm working
Yeah.
hard to change whatever. I'm trying to play different colors, but I will say in the same night, though, if I play the game with the same people, you're that same color in the next game.
Yes,
Yeah,
I don't care what color.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't mind that. Yeah. No, I played with a couple, and they were playing Terra Mystica, where the color, something like a game where like the colors are kind of associated with powers, and so they were playing. They happened to play the opposite of each other's colors, because that's how the special powers lined up. And I
Yeah.
saw them taking back every single turn, halfway through the game, just literally changing boards. They would rather learn a new player power then continue to play the wrong color. And at that point, I was like, I will play a different color every single game.
Yeah.
I do not want to wind up there.
I will say the unspoken part of this hot take is that he's saying that the rest of the game, after you picked your color, the rest of the game, the rest of what you're doing that evening, it's just not that serious. And I applaud that. Because I think some people...
you're agreeing with this.
I just think some people take playing a game, i.e. engaging in communal, toy manipulation here to be serious.
Yeah.
It's not. You're doing something didactic with your brain, and I find that to feel good, Ooh, yeah, I'm going to try to do this. But I find that to feel good, Ooh, yeah, I'm going to try to do this. But it's a toy. It's not serious.
I will let you move, and then I'll let you win, and then move on.
All right. Menno says, big boxes are for collectors only, as they make it actually harder to get the game played.
Nice.
I will agree 90% of the time.
Yes.
I think it very
Is your
much depends
10%
on.
Lost Ruins of Arnak?
I haven't reviewed it yet.
Find
so
out.
You'll have to watch it and find out. No, there are times where I do think it can help organize, and if it keeps everything together, most of the time it is an inhibitor to getting the game played.
Yes.
Especially if it's
100%.
heavy. It just,
Yeah.
if I'm going to visit
wooden.
someone, I'm like, wow, that's not going.
No,
Yeah.
right.
No, for me, it's more box consolidation than it is like anything else. It's like I've got 12 boxes. If you give me one box, it'll go in. But again, it still makes it hard to hit the table. It just is.
Again, it all
rather than
comes
grab
down,
the base.
It comes down to the organization.
that's
Like
true.
I said, Lost Ruins of Arnak, Too Many Bones. I mean, there's a couple that have really nailed it, but those are the exceptions to this. So I agree with this, but also recognize exceptions.
Yeah.
All right, spicy time here. Ray A says, no one cares how much people spend on hobbies. They are simply jealous they can't. He says, as an example, I think it's crazy people spend $300 plus on this Kickstarter, which really means I wish I had more disposable income so I can have this $300 game. Now, there is some truth to that. Okay, I used to think it was crazy that people would spend a certain amount to go out to eat when I was really poor. And then when I got more money, I did not think that any longer. Like for me, the height of eating out was, Ponderosa or Perkins.
I don't know what that is, but
You don't know Ponderosa?
Ponderous Perkins.
Sizzler?
I like that.
Same thing.
Right, but I mean, to eat at a really expensive restaurant, I would never have done it before. And even now, there are restaurants where I go, who would eat there? But I've definitely moved from where I was 20 years ago.
Sure.
I'm back to where you were.
I don't know if I agree with this like pretty much at all. I don't think like if somebody no one cares how much
What he's saying is if I
spend
get on
on
your case
holidays,
for
they
spending $400 on a Kickstarter, like you shouldn't spend that much money. He's saying I'm not really caring about it. I'm just kind of jealous that I can't.
like if somebody spends $1,000 on a stamp, I'm not jealous of that stamp. I'd have the $1,000, I suppose, but
I feel like this is assuming
know if-
that everyone likes board
same
games also.
thing,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? That has that same taste. I mean, I'll step back and say I think no one should care how much people spend on board games because it's your money.
Yeah.
And it's your hobby. And if you feel like that is a good investment of your money for your happiness, then absolutely, I'm super happy for you, and I'd want you to be happy for me, whether it's on a board game or a stamp.
I agree.
So I think that's more of the way I would want this to read. Jealous? That seems extremely haughty. I don't like that. You're just jealous of me because you can't. I'm like, no, you're just a douchebag.
I think it's one of
So,
Okay. Follow up with that. I don't think it's the jealous. Like I've got friends who've like spent like 10 or 12,000 on a pinball machine, or they get cars to work on and sell for the exact same price. They pay a lot of those. But when they hear you pay $300 for a Kickstarter, like that's a lot. I'm like,
yes.
you bought a pinball machine for 10 grand.
Yes.
You know?
But that, or maybe not a pinball machine, but something they consider to be serious business.
Yes.
And you bought it on toys, so you're an idiot. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like,
Yes.
but you spent way more on something you consider important, but I consider to be a toy for you.
Exactly.
A car
Yes.
that
Yep.
you don't need to get
Right.
around because you have that van. You just wanted this yellow car because you want to work on it.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
you want to, like, I don't know, get pulled over. I will say this, I had a point and I think I lost it. What was I going to say?
Was it about her last word?
Maybe. No.
You want her to repeat it?
Oh, no,
I
this is
think
what it
I
was.
got it.
The whole no one cares. I'll tell you when I do care is when I see comments on a Kickstarter that say, oh, I'm glad that this runs until Sunday because I get paid on Friday.
Okay,
and
that-
I'm like,
yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah, that.
Like, the all-in is $300. You're saying you want it, but, ooh, thank goodness I get paid on Friday so I can back it.
Yes.
If you're rocking it paycheck to paycheck,
You should.
maybe you're not, the target audience to be getting an all-in that you'll get in 3 years, man.
I agree.
That's wild. But get your foot off that gas, man.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, one way to read this is that no one cares. Like we, as people who are on the internet a lot, people sometimes share some comments. They're like, "I just care about you guys." Chris, you look really fat lately. I just care about you. You don't care about me, right? You don't know me.
Right.
You just want to call me fat on a public forum, right? Is maybe that's what some of this cares about. Like, I'm just concerned about you. You're spending a lot of money on Kickstarters. Like, well, it's not your place to really be judgmental of that thing, you know?
That could be
Yeah,
what
I think
they
so.
mean.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
I have a 12-bedroom house and I
Yeah,
leverage.
internet, you're fat.
Let's jump to Daniel. Daniel,
Bag.
so let me read all of it here. Daniel says, saying this game is not random, this one guy wins all the tournaments, is a false equivalency. He says the reason is that one person is clearly so much better at that game than other people that he's able to win despite the luck. He falls under 1 to 5% of people gifted at that game, and the other 95% of average gamers will experience way more luck than him/her. Gotta be honest, I don't understand anything Daniel's saying
I can't
here.
unwind that.
They will experience more luck.
So sometimes
Is-
someone says a game's random, and we'll say, well, it can't be random because the same people constantly win the tournaments. And he's saying, well, that's just because they're, according to what he says here, it's because they're better at that game than other people that they can win despite the luck.
I think what he's saying is they're better at being able to strip away the luck factors and see the strategy beneath it to be able to streamline, like, okay, yes, luck is going to affect all of these things. This 10% of the game over here, I can focus on that and I can control that, and that will
Increase my chances.
consistently put me ahead despite of where the
Then
luck
that means the
swings.
game doesn't have too much luck.
I
If you
think
can
that's his
manipulate
point.
winning, no, he's saying
Yeah, I think when he says the game is not random, we're not qualifying that. I mean, if we say the game is random, what we really mean is this game is too random. Maybe we're just not saying the word too. Kind of like we don't always say, in my opinion, something, something, something. It's a given. But if we say this game's random, and we're pointing that out as a statement of fact, then we mean it's too random for that guy to control reliably.
Right.
It's okay for a game to be random, but if it's controllable enough that somebody can reliably win, you just have to decide if you like that much randomness or not, but it can be overcome. If it's too random, by its very nature of that statement, nobody can control it. They will randomly win.
We're saying that it affects 95% of people, and there's a small echelon of people who are probably so studied in that game that they know what to do when the dice just don't work their way.
like
I think
like
of,
poker. I mean, like
poker or Catan or
what's the flipping game?
War.
No, 21. Blackjack, right? Most people, it's random.
it's random. Most people are going to lose more hands than they win. 95% of people, in fact. That's how casinos are big and fancy. But the people who are really good
That
at
can't
it,
be
so
accurate, is it?
studied.
That sucks.
I have some bad news for
Oh
you.
man, that broke my heart for some reason. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's that tier of people who are so studied in it, they'll beat the house every time. Sure, but when we take that away from like a gambling setting into like a board game setting, I know that I've been on both sides of this. Right, I have defended a game that appears very random, but as you play it a few more times, you really can grok it and see what is great in there. And then I've also said, this game is way too random for me. And people say, oh, but there's tournament level play of it, and those people are so good at it. So yeah, it's a continuum, I think, and I've been on both sides of it depending on the game.
Yeah, it also is a feeling, right? A game might feel random to you.
Right.
And that's all it takes. If it feels random, in my head, it is random.
Yeah.
Well, on that, feelings,
Let's talk
Matt
about
D
feelings.
says, we think we are reviewing games, but we are more so reviewing experiences. This distinction matters because when reviewing, we establish a causal relationship between the game and variable factors that are outside the game's control or design. These relationships impact a review way more than people acknowledge.
Wow.
Okay, this I agree with.
Well
because
said, Matt Damon.
Matt. We know who you are.
Oh, man.
Like apples?
Next is a hot take from Ben A.
This one, I've had to go back and replay games I did not like because I played with certain people. I'm like, all right, maybe it was
opposite.
that experience.
Yeah.
Or the opposite.
Or
You know,
opposite,
you
yeah.
enjoyed it because you enjoyed the people you were with, and the game wasn't great.
But I think it's interesting because I think we are reviewing. I think that this has changed once again since I've come to the Dice Tower, that I have had to look at games more objectively. Is it good or not? And I think that's what helps build a review of the game. But then when you get to my personal scoring, I'm much more subjective in my scoring than I am in the actual review of it. You know, the review,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I appreciate this. This is interesting. This is unique. This is here. I don't like this. This down here as well didn't work. But at the end, this is why it did or did not work for me. You know, and so I think that's if you are reviewing the game for your personal tastes, then absolutely that experience is going to be part of it, and very much so. And I think that's the difference. Is like, are you looking at it as a professional reviewer or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
title we give ourselves, or are you looking at like for my personal collection and games I want to play again and what I think of this game? What I think of the game absolutely is very heavily influenced by those experiences.
Well, this is like
But-
saying, we're reviewing, you know, when you review movies, you're not talking about camera lenses and sound design. You're talking about emotional impact and pacing. It's like, yes, the movie's designed to trigger that. The board game is an experience. Otherwise, it's just a box with stuff in it. Engaging in it is done for an experience.
Yes.
What do you want us to review? How much it weighs on a scale and like the light photons bouncing off the surface? It's the experience.
Sure, I'm not sure he's saying reviewers per se, just
No,
people
no, no.
in general.
I get that, but
I agree with Camille, though, in the sense that if I go, I mean, people, they negatively they'll say, never go to that restaurant, I had a bad experience.
Yeah.
And it could be an amazing restaurant, just combination of effects, it was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
And that's the same way with games and stuff. I found that it's useless to try to persuade people otherwise. You played this game, you had a bad experience, you'd really like it if you did this, just whatever, there's other games.
yeah.
You know, but if we're professionals, we need to learn to parse out those outside factors.
That's right. That's right.
Well, so Toleran makes an interesting point. Sorry to go with the movie analogy, right? Like you don't review a movie and say, "Man, there were some annoying people in the movie theater," right? Like that is one of those outlier. What do you call it?
Outside influences or
Outside
something.
influences.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there, unfortunately, board gaming is much more a person-to-person hobby than like watching a movie.
Right.
So it's more directly part of the experience of a game is the other people at the table.
As a reviewer, I have had to learn how to just separate the game from the people you're playing with. But also to that, it's funny how when you play a game with people you really enjoy, and then they later see a horrible review for that game, they'll go up and say, "Look, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Whoa, it was great playing with you."
Right.
Because you almost feel bad slamming a game that we played together.
How
That
often
was
does
our
that
shared
happen to you?
experience.
Does that happen to you a lot?
Well, it happens more to them. They hate the game. I teach them.
But I mean, we use the example of Betrayal at House on the Hill all the time.
Yes.
Where you're like, yeah, guys, the game is broken. It has all these issues. But oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Yes, I'll absolutely want to play with you. Let's do
yes,
it.
yes.
You know, what kind of time can we start? You know, and so I think the two do go so hand in hand together when you're actually taking in your fun factor of the game, or what you think of the game. Is it going to be in my collection? Where am I going to play this? When am I going to play it? That kind of review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That also includes outside factors
Yeah.
for people who go, the Kickstarter was a month late, 4 out of 10.
Oh, I agree
How
with
does,
that.
how does that affect if the game is good or
Nothing
not?
to do
Yes.
with the
You
game.
You can rate the company a 4 out of 10, but the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, we should allow them to rate companies.
All right. Then I thought about that. All right.
Pretty good.
Stephen A. says 99% of co-op games are just solo games that were made worse by adding more players for no reason. He says Spirit Island, Gloomhaven, Pandemic, Mage, etc. are simply better games solo. Games like The Crew are an exception.
Games like The Crew doesn't
that
work
number's
solo,
far
right? I mean,
too
but
high.
okay.
Right, yeah.
No way. No.
Stephen A. needs friends.
Right, yes. Way to like segment
I don't wanna
an
say-
entire
Yeah.
like group of people.
I don't want to say you're an alpha gamer, but tell me you're an alpha gamer without telling me you're an alpha gamer.
Well, I
Tell me
think
you were kicked out of your
I
game.
think there are some games that are solo games that are clearly a solo game and they have more
Absolutely.
players.
Absolutely,
so.
100%. Yeah.
But many games do thrive on your things you do interact with the things I do, and I shouldn't run both.
Right.
Right.
That would be a worse experience for everybody involved.
Yep.
When I play Pandemic, since I think that's one of the ones he named, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
when I play Pandemic on the app just by myself and I'm running 3 characters, I'm kind of dumb. I'm pretty good at Pandemic, right? We sit down, 2, 3, 4 of us here, we play Pandemic. I'm not bad at it, right? But I love that experience of what I call the Grand Council. Is there anything that's secret? Is there anything that like physically requires or rules-wise requires us to be multiple people? No, I can play Pandemic 3-handed by myself. And I regularly lose in the app because I'm kind of dumb when I'm not bouncing the ideas off of the people.
Right.
Let's go back to the previous hot take. If games are a lot about the experience, that's a worthwhile experience.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Jim Z says,
Oh boy.
if you need to rely on on stretch pay to back a crowdfunding project at a particular tier, you shouldn't be backing it at that tier.
That's what
That goes
no
back to
one's
what
gonna
you
do.
said.
That's what you said.
Okay, wait, hold on. If you need to rely on stretch pay to back a crowdfunding out of it, you shouldn't. Yes.
I agree with that, but I also agree, back to the statement before that, that it's like, it's also not my business. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it's like,
Layaway.
not my business what you do. It's like, cool, do I think that? Yes. Would I do that? No. That's me, though. That's me
your
with
money.
my money.
It is your money.
You
You do
know?
whatever you
Like,
want. But
right. I think for me, it just we shouldn't have judgment behind it, how somebody else is doing. You know?
yeah, it just seems precarious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're living paycheck to paycheck, which is fine, but or you just you need that so you can pay off your new game, your new toy basically. Oh gosh. There's maybe some friends you can talk to try to make it stop.
In the same way that, like, if somebody eats out all the time, then it's like, I just can't afford groceries. It's like, well, it's because you spend all your money over here. But again, that's them. If they're coming to
true.
you like, hey, I'm struggling with my money, and you're like, okay, well, let's talk about stretch pay on Game Fountain, how you shouldn't be, something like
Yeah.
that. But that's them approaching you. Like, at the end of the day, like, it's not my business. Like,
Yeah.
get out of it.
The only time it becomes my business, like you said, is if I see someone has 2 posts back to back on Facebook, and one is like, hey, I need help, we're struggling here, we need to do this. And the second one is, I can't wait for my $1,000 Mage Knight pledge to come in.
Right.
I'm like, hey, look, that might, but even then, it's not my business per se. But if you ask me for help, I might be like, well, you can help yourself a little.
Agreed.
There it is.
Agreed.
There it
That's
is.
the difference.
Yeah.
That's what you can do in that situation is not give them your money.
I already want to say I disagree with the next octave 100%.
Oh,
I'm so excited!
It's going to be a spicy meatball.
David M says, solo gaming does not contribute to the growth of this hobby in a meaningful way. He says, I've never met someone who says, I fell in love with the hobby because someone introduced me to solo games. Almost everyone I know got hooked playing board games with others. Solo gaming removes the human element of this hobby and is an entirely different hobby. That the last sentence,
Oh.
and as a different hobby, is sort of, you could argue that, like solo gaming is its thing.
Okay, all right.
But-
Maybe less than dexterity gaming?
But everything else, I know. And actually, I've met lots of people who started playing solo games and got into the hobby.
Have you?
Like on Arena,
Oh,
Board Game
yeah,
Arena,
I
and things
guess.
like that.
Well, there's a lot to say.
I know. Where do I start?
I think the thing
Hold
that
on.
hangs me up the
What?
most is the idea of growth of the hobby in a meaningful way. That is loaded. Growth of the hobby. What do you care? Like that there be growth in the hobby, as long as they're making games and you're happy with that, okay. But then the meaningful way thing. Meaningful to whom? Meaningful how? I don't know,
Yeah,
man. This is hard to get behind.
Meaningful,
I-
like GDP wise, because I'll tell you that's wrong, right? A lot of people get into
Sure.
gaming, spend more if that's what's meaningful, but also get more invested on a personal level because of solo gaming. That's meaningful to me.
Sure.
Right? If someone comes to a convention and says, "Oh, I mostly play solo," and this is real. I think we hear this a lot. I mostly
Yeah.
play solo. I'm excited to be here at Dice Tower
Yeah.
East. I'm excited to be
Absolutely.
at Gen Con, to be around other people that love games the way that I do, because I don't have a game group at home.
Right.
I play solo all the time.
I'm amused that there's two Dave and M's in chat.
I know. He's like,
They're
it's
like,
not me.
Implying that this is
me.
not them.
Yeah, Chad is making
like,
sure
wow.
we know they are not this David M.
Sincerely, the better David M.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I think solo gaming gives an opportunity to be in the hobby when you don't have a gaming group or a significant other, or whatever your situation may be, or the mobility to go out to a gaming night.
Yes.
Whatever. I think having solo gaming is so key and important, and maybe it does feed into coming to conventions and playing with other people or meeting people at a board game cafe. Also, maybe it doesn't. That doesn't mean those people can't be active online and,
That's
and
meaningless
chat
growth.
and anything like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not
yeah,
giving
yeah.
anything then at that point. We don't. And so this is just so judgy and snobby and wrong and gross.
This is like the
Alright.
hottest hot take for against solo games I've heard, and we've heard a
Yeah.
couple.
Yeah.
And
We've heard a couple, but this is like the most like
Ugh.
solo gaming is worthless, meaninless,
Yes. And
if you like
and will
it-
stagnate this hobby to death. That's basically what he's saying.
And it's not even a new trend. Sorry, the last point really quick is that like solo wargaming's been around for
Oh,
decades,
yeah.
decades and decades and decades, and some of those people have then gone on
Died.
to
Oh.
gone on to contribute to the hobby in what I consider meaningful ways.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're saying here in the chat. I played Avalon Hill solo games in the early 70s, and here he is watching and contributing to content now. This is.
All right.
Nah.
Ethan S. says, publishers should build a consistent look for their games.
No.
I think Garfield and Red Raven do this well, says Ethan.
I don't- I think
consistent
it's-
amongst themselves, like within their own company.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? I mean, then if you don't look to one of their games, I'll just write out that entire publisher.
Right, that's like just very
Oh,
segregated.
interesting.
know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
mean-
actually agree with this. I think branding and
Yeah,
consistency
I'm
is
with
good.
that.
But I understand that then there might also be a negative
Yeah.
connotation to that. But that's how branding works. If you do bad things under your logo and branding, yeah, you're going to garner some negativity, but aren't you striving for doing good things? If the reason to not do it is because when you put out a bad game, you can hide from it, you're doing it wrong.
Right, but isn't
I was going to say, it doesn't depend on how big the company is. I mean, you look at what, like, Z-Man Pandemic or whatever, they have this wide swath. Everything's going to have that style look. I don't think, and then also, like, Scarab Ray, you talk about those. What if people are like, that's way too beige? Well, just ignore everything in the company from henceforth.
right. I mean, it's
And-
going to put them back in a corner, right? Where
Right.
it's like, I have to always look like this. I have to always do it this way.
I think-
I think branding is like company branding and actually like game branding are two different things. Because you can look at company branding, we can look at someone like Allplay, who has similar box sizes, who always does logos on the same sides. I mean, you look at it, you're like, that's probably an Allplay game. But their games look vastly different and play vastly different. So I think there is a fine line
artists.
between, right, correct. I think there's a fine line between we need to be consistent in our branding and our company's brand, but diverse in our gameplay and our game looks to hit different markets and different interests and different visuals.
I agree with that, but I think that's what they're saying, guys.
I
Publishers should build a consistent look for their games. I think they mean branding look, not like the same
We're not
artist.
talking
they're
about-
talking, but they're talking Red Raven though here, who is the same artist on all of them.
Well, sure, but he can do that. And Garfield has two artists, so they look
Right.
pretty similar, except for this upcoming one.
I was going to say that's funny that they have a completely different
Well,
look.
because they want
but also,
a new audience.
yeah, but also this game is so different from their ancient anthology series and their North and South and stuff that it's good that this looks different. I think because it's like a lighter card game that is more like Imperial Settlers than Hadrian's Wall. You know what I mean?
But 100%. I mean, I don't like Queen's look. All their games look the same.
Yeah.
And the Valeria, the Tiny Epics, they kind of look
yeah,
the same.
that's-
But I think you should have a consistent look and feel to your games because there are some companies, let's say Rio Grande, well, they have a consistent look, but that's not what they want. But companies where every box is a different size. Like every box is a different size, has a different artist, a
The
different
logo's
look,
in a
and you're
different
like,
place,
how am I
the-
supposed to know who made this? Like,
Yeah.
let's go back to defunct company Tasty Minstrel. Their games all had a very distinct look, but they looked different. I always thought the Tasty Minstrel look looked good. Their logo sometimes will hit on the middle of a beautiful picture in the box.
Yeah.
But but I thought they had like a consistent basis to their games.
I think I disagree because I think like there would be games that if a game comes out from a certain company, I might not rush to look at it. It's like I know what it looks like. I don't go rush to it. Level 99, they did that Heart or Star game that you enjoy. They also did Spooktacular. Those two could not be further apart by their looks and the feel of the games. Now, you also might say, well, do a different brand for each one. I think like Trick or Treat Studios has Trick or Treat, has the other brand for. Maybe do that if you want to do consistency in brand.
Like I think Trick or Treat Studios is a good example of doing it well.
Yeah.
Across the bottom of every front is a banner says Trick or Treat in the same corner. It looks like one of theirs, even if the art is different from game to
Right.
game. It's that sort of.
I guess that
Give yourself some branding that is recognizable.
but enough differences. You mean?
Yeah, give yourself something that is like this is one of ours,
Right.
branded somehow.
I think if that's what we're talking, like All Play, like Trick or Treat, something like that, then
Yeah.
I'm 100% agreeing. But where I was thrown, I think, is in the further the comment where he says, such as Red Raven,
That's
such
fair.
as, I'm like, no, if you're
Garfield.
taking it that far, then I could not possibly disagree stronger.
Yeah.
If you're talking about a company, branding, standardizing box size, standardizing logo placement, standardizing the information put on the box,
Yes.
where to find it, 100% agree with that.
I don't know. I really like Red Ravens. Okay, well, anyway.
But again, he's also an exception. He is the
the art.
artist.
sole
He's
creator
the
of the-
designer.
Well, yeah.
Ryan
he is
Lochte,
the-
you ruined
yeah,
all
and
the
again,
arguments.
this is also not negative on Ryan Lochte.
Get a new
That is an
artist.
exception to something.
Right. And this argument also has become less strong using Garfield as an example because the first several games all had the Micho's art and all had that exact same kind of look, and then they diversified with Sam, and then now they have another different look and everything. And I think companies naturally will kind of create brands within brands, right? You want like the heavy Euro game line, maybe that should look a little consistent within itself.
Yeah.
You want to make a party game line, don't make it look like your heavy Euro line.
Sure.
Right.
Well, look
also,
at Stonemeyer.
don't put it in a
Every game
circular thing.
seems so different.
As a side note, I'm seeing many people say, here's my hot take in the comments. I'll never remember those. You need to email me at tom@dicetower.com. Take a few seconds. Do it right now.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Michael Delicio.
Yeah, come on, Michael.
Michael D.
that's Michael D. Come on.
Mikey D.
All right. Josh A. says, inserts in board games are almost always... Wait.
Wait.
Sorry.
Andrew G.
Andrew G. I'm reading the next one already. They're both about inserts.
Oh, yeah.
All
There's
right.
Doing two back to back. So an insert that doesn't quite fit everything perfectly and feels like it was about 90% designed is worse than no insert.
Absolutely.
Certainly more upsetting.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Because at that point, you wasted my time, you wasted more money, you wasted your money by printing this 90% done insert that
agree.
I'm going to tear apart and throw away and, go cry to Joey to 3D print me something. You've at that point,
that
you've
how that
angered
works?
me about
it
it.
is.
I mean,
Yes.
I think the
Yes.
perfect example of this is Lost Ruins of Arnak. That they got the box and it was like torn apart
Ugh.
at the beginning when they're like, you don't even include an insert. It's just everything thrown in there. We're all mad about it. But now look at all the amazing inserts that we have and that kind of stuff. If they'd given a terrible insert that doesn't fit the components, that ruins the components, that gets in the way of getting it to the table, that you're going to throw away anyway, you've done nothing but made me mad, wasted my time, wasted your money.
I agree.
Well,
I
speaking
agree.
of that,
This is
let's just go
Completely
to
agree.
the next one. What's also about inserts.
Okay.
Josh A. says, inserts in board games are almost always a waste of time and money since they seldom hold things in place for travel or horizontal shelving. Also, I'm not using the box as a bank during the game, says Josh A. Just give us the appropriate amount of plastic baggies.
I disagree because he says since they most often don't, or since they seldom hold them in place, you don't have good inserts then. That's an insert problem, that is a problem with the inserts that you have chosen.
Would you guys say, generally speaking, more than 50% of inserts are good inserts? I'm not asking you. I know what you think. You throw away inserts like
No.
it's going out of style.
I think it's about 98% of inserts suck. I am that
That's
strong. I
crazy.
will die on that
That
hill.
is insane.
I agree, but that's because of the sheer number of inserts there are out there. If you pick a game and you go look at Thingiverse to 3D print something, or you go look at Etsy to see, there are 12 inserts for that game. 11 of them are probably trash.
But
So,
no, the
yes,
one
so
that
I
comes
agree
in it, you think
bulk-wise.
is
Manufactured in the
yeah,
box.
the manufactured.
manufactured
yeah,
one?
yeah. I'm talking about like, do you think a game when you open it, how many times out of 100 is that insert good? I think it's certainly more than 50%. I think most inserts are good.
Okay, are you discluding the Cardboard Valley and games that really don't even have an insert?
You're talking about
There's a plastic insert.
inserts or
plastic inserts, cardboard dividing things, yeah, I mean.
Oh, I hate 100% of those are bad. Hate them so
those
much.
are like just to
the
keep
cards.
my bags from jumping too much into those bags. At that point, there's not really an insert. But I think most plastic inserts are good. I think the comment before this one talking about that 90% done insert is always a plastic insert. It's always because the stupid card well doesn't go to the bottom of the box for some reason, and there's 3 cards that float at the top like an animal. Just make it that extra full inch. And you have this much space from where you stopped the card well to the bottom of the box. But somehow, 3 cards still just kind of like ding, ding across the top.
It's mambaing.
Why? Why?
I hate cardboard tiles. Sometimes do that. I have a fantastic, beautiful game on my table at home right now, and it has player trays which hold everything really well, except for one. Like it has like a stand-up slot, so you put all these resources in. Each player has like their own little row of things, and it fits every single thing except for one of those and one of the meeples that lay down on this side. And I don't understand it, but would I say it's still a good insert? Well, there's another well where you can put extra pieces. Well, okay, you have to put one of these and one of those in here with your
Which is annoying. It's
annoying, but I wouldn't say that it's a bad insert.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what I say?
Yeah. I will say this. I think most inserts are
bag it up.
over-designed.
They might be over-designed.
I think most inserts are over-designed. I don't need one piece. Again, that the plastic goes down like that much, and I put the star player token in its own spot that is exactly shaped like the star player token and just sits on top, floating right there. The only thing holding it down being the board, which is how, again, if you put it on its side, blah, everything just flops out. You're over-designing. This isn't the game. Putting the thing away is not the game. The game's the game. Just give me a bunch of holes held up by walls. I can put stuff in the wells. It's just overly done.
I will say the first Dead Reckoning box was like that. It's like, it is a game to put it away. I get out the 2 sheets. I'm like, all right, balance, okay, wait, put here.
We've become
Yeah.
so obsessed by this idea of everything has to have its little spot. It has to fit perfectly. The tiles have to sit at a 22-degree
Right,
angle,
yeah.
or they don't fit.
Or like when you have one of those games where every mini, has its own little spot, and you're like, okay, well this one goes a little, okay, maybe it's a guy with a sword. Oh no, it's the one with the bow.
Oh,
It's there.
Nothing,
You know what I mean? Like,
nothing makes me
Zombie style.
happier.
Yeah.
This is very rare, but nothing makes me happier when any mini fits in any one
yes,
space.
The
Oh my
universal.
gosh,
Those are
I
At that
so
point, I'm like,
nice.
You've nailed it. They
Yeah.
can go in any one because you did the same. The bow hole is in all of them. It doesn't matter where it
Yeah.
goes.
Mechs vs. Minions
Yeah.
did that.
They were the
from
first,
the
I
beginning.
think, and that's put game trays on the map.
It
Y'all
did.
are missing out though. Back in the days when I think it was Mayfair used the same custom insert for all their
every-
games.
Oh
You'd be
my
like,
God.
"What goes in
Really?
this spot?" Well, nothing actually. It's just from another
Oh my
game.
god.
right.
The Aaliyah games did that. If you bought like the original Castles of Burgundy and Notre Dame, they had the same insert. You're like, what goes where? Figure it out, kid.
Those are the worst. All right, Fernando has a hot take here. Roll and move games deserve more respect. He says it's fun and accessible. I bet in a world where this niche hobby became not so niche, dice games, including roll and move, will be more popular than Euros and in the top 100 of BGG. I don't know that that's a great argument to say in an alternate world they would, because in an alternate world you can make anything happen.
Sure.
I'll disagree with this. Roll and move's a bad mechanism for the most part. You can find ways to make it good, but
I don't
Roll-
think roll and move is a bad mechanism. I think roll and move is a very underexplored mechanism. I think it would kind of be like the first time anybody did, I don't know, worker placement, and we stopped there.
Right.
The very first worker placement game is the only worker placement way we use. Whereas now we have like place a worker, take back a worker. I can bump a worker out. You can send 2 workers to replace 1. Like if none of those things existed and it's just place a worker somewhere empty, you have 3, that's it. Like that's it. That's the only way we can do worker placement. That's not great. And I think the same is true for roll and move. We don't choose to pursue it because it has a terrible reputation. There's a couple of, roll and move games that do something different. But I agree. I don't think roll and move is inherently bad. Just like flip and right is not inherently bad. Are there a lot of bad ones? Yes.
Glad you
I think
mentioned
it's
that.
a difficult
coming, right?
mechanism. I think it's a difficult mechanism to design around. I
Really?
think that's where we don't see a lot. It's underdeveloped. Like it's not
Yeah.
used a lot, and I think it's because it is difficult to overcome that innate imbalance. Almost, do you get a 1 and you want a 5? So you have to have so much else to support it, and so I think it's a difficult one to design, and maybe that's why around and we don't see much of it. But so in that, I think it's do they deserve more respect though? No, I think that they're the ones that are really good are exceptions to that, but it's not because of the mechanism necessarily.
It's how good is the mitigation?
I'll even go this far. I think rolling a pool of dice and then drafting them is an evolution of roll and move. I think it's roll and move. Are you moving on a track forward in geography? Maybe not. But if I'm drafting a die from a pool of dice and I am moving resources from here to here, that is roll and move in my opinion. An evolution of that.
Well, I don't know. Let's go to the next hot take because this is similar. Ian says, flipping cards is more interesting method of randomization than rolling dice. He also says flipping rights are better than rolling rights.
I tend to find that I like flipping rights more than rolling rights. It's a more interesting form of method of randomization.
Less luck.
It's a
you're
little
saying?
more controlled.
It's controllable,
it is.
more
Yeah.
controllable,
Yeah.
sure.
See that.
And you can kind of, as a designer, work in that sphere more, right? Any game that you get through a certain amount of the deck and you reveal a round scoring thing, right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
going to be a little more controlled than roll the dice and draft them. Every time you roll the 6, though, it moves a time tracker forward, and then at some point you trigger a scoring. Well, that's going to be super random.
Yeah.
I think that it does. I think it's an interesting exploration of a mechanism, like you said, Z. It's kind of an iteration of something that we've done for a while,
Right.
and so for that reason, maybe it's
I
more
will,
interesting.
I will say this. I think it might be less. We were talking about fun a while ago. I think it might be less fun.
About flipping cards?
Yeah, I like rolling.
Yeah.
I think
There's inherent drama and fun to that.
I agree, but we saw this very clearly with Oathsworn as well, which came with both, right? It came with the exact same mechanism.
right.
And do you want to roll
Yes.
dice or do you want to flip cards?
Yes.
I go flip cards because I like that drama of
No,
here
you
we
like
go.
roll dice.
Right,
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I prefer
Wait,
that.
which one?
You
I
said
prefer
flip
rolling,
cards.
Oh, sorry, I prefer rolling dice.
Roll it, yeah.
But I also know that I wouldn't mind playing with cards if you're playing with that person that really wants to I don't know. Okay, well, we've already got that card out, and so they want to play the odds more on that. Are you more that player style? Then I think you're going to lean more that way.
Yes,
so I think
yes,
it is,
yes.
like you were saying, a variation on the same thing, and it's just about where do your preferences lie.
That's a great example because
I-
it literally has both in the box. Yeah.
100%, because Gloomhaven got it. It's oh wow, no more die rolls. You just flip the card. This is great. Played. I'm I miss rolling those dice.
Yeah.
I miss everybody going what's going to happen
There's
here?
drama.
There's drama in that.
It's
But
a-
sometimes the cards are better.
The cards are more certainly like Chris was saying.
sure.
There's more control.
Yes.
More
There's-
design space.
There's more rising tension.
right.
It's like a novel,
mitigation.
whereas rolling dice is a bunch of short stories. Right?
Wow, that is
Interesting.
deep.
Yeah,
You like
yeah.
that?
like a bunch
I like
of
that.
words. Excitement, grandeur.
Why not?
Well, speaking of cards, Jason says, if small cards are the main component of a game, just make them normal sized. Now, I want to say, my first reaction to that was, hey, that's a good take, but we just played a game. I forget what the game was.
Timeline.
No. But timeline is an example. But I know we played a game where the cards, the whole table was filled. And it was one of these big gaming tables. And I thought if they just made the cards smaller, this game would have fit better on that table.
That's it. That's what it is. It matters what you do with the cards. I agree. If it's a deck of cards you shuffle and deal with people's hands, then yeah, they should be bigger. But if we need to tile them or something,
Or you're
they're-
bringing them out into your player board and you want to have 3 on your player board. Does that increase your player board side because you have 3 there and areas for your
Or if you
components?
have a helmet and weapons in each hand and all
Right.
this, I want smaller cards.
Yeah, look at Zombicide. If Zombicide
Right.
had regular poker-sized cards, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
oh my,
that'd be a mess.
yeah, yeah,
right?
right.
You know, so I disagree.
My hot take is that the rise of the individual player board taking up a quarter of the table is just one of those things that makes me die a little bit inside. Every time I pull out a new Lacerda game or whatever, I just think, and the Speakeasy, the newest one, has this cool thing. You tuck cards into your board. It has neat art and stuff.
Is that the game with the insert? I was trying to figure it out.
Maybe.
Got it. Sorry.
It's
but
the
yeah,
only
like,
good
if they were
insert
just-
you've ever seen.
No, he was talking about the insert that fit all the pieces but
almost
2, and I was
every
like,
game.
what game is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah,
Sorry.
but if they just shrunk the cards, the player board could go from like this big to, a more normal size,
Wow.
more manageable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
I don't know. Castle Burgundy, the card game. You remember how that took
Yeah.
up so much table space?
Yeah.
The only time I really agree with this is in a game like Ticket to Ride. They initially came with small cards. So much better with normal size
They
cards.
don't have to be small. They need to be shuffled a lot. Shuffling tiny cards is kind of rough.
Obsession! The tiniest cards in Obsession.
Oh,
Well,
the
it's
team.
just really tiny.
Okay, they have changed those, but also that's also not a main component.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
just,
So,
I always think of
back off,
Obsession.
that's all I'm saying.
Sorry.
I also hate tarot-sized cards. I don't know why, but go ahead.
You don't like them?
I don't like them.
For party games, they work really well. Wouldn't they have art and it matters? Like Dixit?
I guess.
For
it's just,
player age.
I
My,
think it's
my hot take with that, with tarot-sized cards, is you went tarot to show off your artwork, and then still gave me font like you're printing on Ticket to Ride size cards. And I'm like, look, your artwork's great, but it's a game. I'm not buying a print.
Yeah.
I still got to play the thing.
Yeah.
All right. Simon M says expansions that are offered as part of a new game launch on crowdfunding. Sorry.
Part of a new game launch.
As part of a new game launch and crowdfunding should be actually be included as part of the game. He says expansions should only be released at a later date.
Oh, I see. Okay, so if the
Okay.
expansion is part of the same crowdfunding, then just put it in there. Otherwise, it's not really an expansion, I guess is what he's saying. I kind of agree with that.
Here's the thing. I like expansions, but I also have just massive amounts of respect with the company that comes out and says, this is the game. Other expansions? No. This is good. I'm like, I respect you for that. That's bold.
Or if they
Like,
do,
that
you-
game is good enough, you know?
I
Right.
agree.
Or if you know later the expansions came with the same care and dedication and
Right.
thought and decisions,
Feedback.
Yeah, that's
base
exactly it.
game.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
They came. It's like if you, rather than taking and spending all those resources, giving me 4 expansions to get me to the back of the game, put that money half into savings for future expansion and
Yes,
planning, and half
yes.
into the game to give me a better insert, to develop the gameplay, to
Ooh,
spend a
callbacks.
little bit of time on gameplay development and
Yeah,
feedback,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that I'm getting the best project now and want the future expansion.
Like you were saying about the this is the game, I lose a little bit of respect, more and more respect, the more variants you include in your rulebook.
Yeah.
Like if your game then at the back of the rulebook has 4 variants, I'm like, I wish you would have just picked the best version of your game and given me that.
I don't
be your
what-
R&D team.
Best foot forward. Yep.
That's what modern Kickstarter, here's 5 expansions right away. That's all it is.
That's kind of what it is.
It's just variants that you and I at least appreciate the fact that they're not in the base box, right? I would lean more towards the side of delay them, wait,
Right.
rather than just, well, what you should have done, you should have just crammed all that in the main box. No, because that means
Things unplayable. I mean, it'll be like
Yeah.
a big box argument all over again.
Yeah, but
Right.
my problem is when I play the game and say, I don't really like it, and someone's like, well, you should have played with this extra expansion. How was I supposed to know? Put it in the game if the
I
game
agree
needs
with
it,
that,
it should be
yes.
in the game. Or I don't care if the game has 80 variants in the back of the book, it doesn't bother me. But if one of them makes the game better and people say I should have played with that, then that should have been in the game.
Right.
The variants at the end should always be the less fun or played versions.
Or the variants for your specific
Sure.
situations, the family mode, the extra,
Sure.
the focus on this, the change of strategy, something like that changes what you think the best version is.
All right, Jason M says, if you have the money, always get the neoprene mat for your board game. He then says, if you don't have the money, get the money. You will always regret not having one.
I disagree with this pretty strongly.
As someone who owns more neoprene mats than almost anyone else in the world for board games,
Yeah.
I highly disagree with this, even though I love them. But sometimes I don't want to carry them.
Yep.
Because storing them is a pain. I think we all agree on that.
Yep.
Storing them is a huge pain, and they don't show as good detail.
That's it.
Oh, go ahead.
I just went through a cull, and I realized I went through a phase where every neoprene. I had to get rid of the huge mat for tiny epic zombies.
Really?
I'm like, it was her. I'm like, my wife's like, come on, and she shows me the box, and it's just, yeah.
I think that's what makes this spicy is the always, but I'm 90% there though. Like
Really?
I
You do like the
really like mats. I think especially if you are going to be moving things around on the board or having cards that you're putting down and picking up, something like that. I don't travel with my games a lot, you know. I have my home collection. My friends come here, or I go to their house a couple doors down. I know what I'm going to take with me, so it's one mat. I don't mind the extra storage for the mat, but I have a very small curated collection of games that I like, and I spend a lot of money and time in upgrading that and building the experience I want of those games I know I like.
What about
Experience,
the
that's a callback.
dilution of? Sometimes a lot of companies get play mats where the color and the focus isn't as good. I feel.
I think it's just literally harder to print on like that neoprene
Yeah.
surface and make
It's
it.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It
not
looks
as sharp,
fuzzy.
for sure. It's not as sharp for sure, but I still feel, for me, the experience of playing on the mat, being able to put the cards down, pick them up, move stuff around, is outweighs that.
I think if your board has printing on it, that's the breaking point for me.
If
Yes,
it has
for
fine
sure.
detail printing,
You mean like
Like it says,
Text.
yeah, text. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if it has text, and there's a lot of them that have text on the board, and you do a one-to-one neoprene of that, it looks messy, it looks fuzzy, it looks out of
Yep.
focus. My eyes are constantly spending all game trying to adjust.
I mean, example of that is the Fox Experiment. Those are mats that I don't need
Yeah.
because it just does not come clear enough. Yes, I can tell what it says, but it doesn't look clear enough. Also, I'm putting a token on which sits there the whole game. I'm not moving anything on that mat.
right. I want a game mat for a game where the board has a lot of cards and you
Yes.
need to pick up the cards.
Yeah.
That's the main one that I want, I think. Other than that, they're a luxury and sometimes they're worth it if you love a game and you want to upgrade it.
Yeah.
Other times,
Yeah.
you're fine.
They're
But I
they're near the bottom for me. It's the only thing I get after that is like the art book.
They're pretty. They're right under metal coins, you know, wooden or acrylic upgrades, and then it's matte. It's pretty high.
Really?
It's like
Okay.
top 3 for me.
actually I moved the wooden upgrades is my number one now.
This would be
I'm-
an interesting...
Over the metal coins.
Oh,
Tom, this would be an interesting bracket.
Ooh.
yeah,
I do like that. Okay.
Yeah. All
like
right.
that. Good
All
call.
right, just a couple more here, and any that we don't get to, we will do next time, folks. Yannick has a very hot take here. If you are aware that you have severe analysis paralysis, you should avoid playing long and complex games that involve a lot of decisions.
Oh gosh.
Yes, but they won't. They will pull
I
you
don't
into them.
think no.
This is like a self-diagnosed thing, right? So anyone who is, I found that most people who take a long time to play,
Want to play those games?
no, don't think they do,
Yes.
or don't think it's a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't. This is like punishing somebody to not play that because they have analysis paralysis. Goodness, no, it's okay. You can play the game. Just maybe
play
you
it.
need to find the people who are like, yeah, it's not a problem for me that you do that. Just like I might tap the table and it's annoying to some people, and so I got to find the people that don't find it
Well,
annoying.
if you have a shaky hand, you shouldn't play dexterity games.
I
Right, that's the
disagree.
no.
You
No.
shouldn't.
I'm saying that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying
what-
that.
that's
I'm
the same
saying,
argument as
oh,
what
your
I'm
hands
saying,
shake a
yeah.
bit, then I can't
Then
play
you
any
can't play this
dexterity game
with
with
me.
you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like goodness gracious, no. Let them play.
Well,
Let them-
or play it at all. I'm not.
Yeah.
If you take forever on your turn, I will not play SETI with you. I just won't.
Sure, right.
But
But that person.
I'm not
still
saying
should
you
play.
can't play SETI.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
don't play with me.
I agree.
okay. James L says. Oh wait, we already did this one earlier, so let's skip to the next one. We did this one already. I remember this.
Oh, okay. I like that you put it in this font that makes it look like a child wrote it with a
Yes.
crayon.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we'll finish them all. Okay, Leon G says, stop sleeving all your games. He says you can replace any. No, he said you can replace any game in your collection, even a Grail game, 10 times over for the money you spent on sleeves. That's not quite true. Not a
All
Grail
these
game.
wild statistics we're pulling out of the air. I love them.
Hilarious.
I love them. What are you guys sleeving with gold?
This.
Now, to be fair though, I do think a lot of games. If I play, what's the game that just came out? Jungo, right? Jungo. I'm not sleeving Jungo.
No, you should not
because
sleeve Jungo.
The sleeves
It's
for Jungo
$12.
cost as much as Jungo does. I could just buy a new copy of Jungo.
Yes.
And you should. If you're going to wear out a game like that, then fantastic. Go buy a new one, treat yourself to a brand new deck, give that publisher a little kudos. Right?
But I also don't
No?
like
You
playing.
don't think so?
The exception, I think of the crew. The crew needs to be sleeved. Yes,
I-
it's under $20, but those cards get nasty. You
I
shuffle them
didn't
multiple times the whole
see-
time.
I did not sleeve the crew, and now
Uh-huh.
we're almost about to finish it. And every time we bring it up, I'm like, "Phew, those are
Right.
manky.
And
I'm
yes,
the
you
only
don't buy
one-
another one, but I don't want to buy 4 copies of this game.
got 3
You know,
more
like by the
games.
time you go through all 50 of those scenarios, it's like you got to buy another one. It's like,
But I don't
yeah.
like sleeves to play with them,
No,
so
I agree
I'll
with
make
that.
that sacrifice.
Okay, I like the I prefer to shuffle sleeved cards
you
over
really?
not sleeved cards. Yes, just to come from the top and cut the deck with them.
Lay
like
into
that.
her.
Yes.
Lay into her like she's tarot cards.
Yes.
How
No,
dare you?
I
Yeah.
put up with that to get a sleeve
No,
card. Yeah.
I don't like the cards
You don't-
bent.
Oh,
don't-
you like riffle
do.
shuffling?
I
What is
do.
it?
He's a
I don't- it
magician.
just-
he can manipulate the deck. He
I
can,
don't
He can
do
spin
that.
it.
Ah,
Come on,
why don't you
of
make a
course he
sleeve
likes
card disappear?
Do it,
That'd be
can you?
impossible.
Is
Can you
this your
imagine
card?
palming one
Where's
of
the
those?
sleeve?
You just see something really sharp poking out Joey's neck. it's gone.
Yeah, I don't know. I think sleeving, I agree with this actually more than not. Stop sleeving all your games. I agree that people almost sleeve as a matter of fact. They'll open a game, literally open a game, and then immediately start sleeving. I'm like, you don't even know how those cards are used or manipulated yet.
Here,
I do agree that.
yeah, to go off
Yeah,
what
it's
you
like,
said.
goodness, if a deck of cards is 12 cards and it gets shuffled incessantly, sleeve those 12 cards, for goodness sake. Especially if it's important, you don't know which one's next or where they are in a display or whatever. But a deck of 50 cards that you flip over one for the game and it's just a variant, you don't need to sleeve that. Don't just sleeve before you know if sleeves are needed, warranted.
And I'm coming around on this because I used to sleeve everything because there's more of the comfort thing. While I watch TV, it's easy just to sleeve
Yeah.
cards.
It is.
It's
and
its
it's
own
just
hobby.
it's fun because I'm not a big painter.
It is.
It's something
like
to do.
painting.
It is. You
Yeah.
can paint sleeves, by the way.
Yeah.
But I mean, sleeves also help. I think someone said it in the comments, maybe I thought, but it also helps with being able to pick the cards up off the table if you're not playing on a mat or something like that. So I think
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
that's
is
true,
useful
too.
as well. But the point is, stop sleeving all of your games. I agree. I'm definitely team understand what's going to help the game last. It's going to help it be more user friendly. It's but if I'm shuffling cards a lot in a game, I'm absolutely 100%. Or if there's cards that are, this is always your base, a deck builder. This is your starting base, and through the game you're going to add a couple other cards into it. Then I want to sleeve that because then the cards are going to wear evenly.
Right.
So things like that.
yeah,
But so I
that's true,
believe
yeah.
sleeves are awesome. All of your games matter, of course. I'm getting it. Cool. I need to know the sleeve sizes so I can have those arrive on the same day.
Yes.
No, give it a
That's-
chance. Play the game. Make sure you want the game first. Have you played it yet?
There's that.
know,
Like,
like,
it's
come
wild.
on.
People really do that.
Yeah.
They get the games and the sleeves at the same time.
Is
Yeah.
your Marvel Champions sleeves?
Some of it, yes.
Okay.
Some of it.
All right, got 2 more hot takes here. First is glass should not be a component option.
Is that often a
Who's
component?
this Jason? Did he send you like 12 of these? I feel like.
Maybe, or I forgot to replace the name, but
I feel like.
Chances the
Glass?
We know that Jason hates glass. What else
What
does
is
he like?
glass in? I know it's in the
River-
one from All Play, River Valley Glass Works.
Glassworks.
It has the word glass in the name.
no, this is Jason. Yeah, Jason sent me 10 hot takes.
Good night.
Wow.
I don't know what those pieces look like, but I would be nervous to play
we
with
couldn't
glass
with any of them,
pieces.
yeah.
Like,
too.
They
like,
look
yeah.
almost exactly like the plastic piece.
are they fragile? Like,
No.
will they
No.
break like glass?
I mean, I think you drop them
Not
on
any more than glass
tile.
beads. Glass beads are actually used in several games.
Yeah.
You'd have to like hurl them off a cliff to do anything to them.
They do chip, though. Glass beads do chip a little bit,
Mm.
right?
I mean, if you drop them on like a tile or something like that, I don't think.
Which is possible if
not.
you're playing in a place that has tile on the floor. I don't love glass as a component in board games. It's got to be near the bottom of.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll put up with literally any other component, pewter, minis, and anything.
Oh,
anything.
Jason has responded in the chat. He said he cut his finger on a broken Sagrada piece.
Oof.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Wait, what is glass in Sagrada?
I think it was an upgrade for one of the
Okay.
things.
Oh,
Oh,
kind of like
the
River
glass
Valley
beads.
Okay, yeah.
I like that they gave from personal experience. Like, you know what? No one should have this.
No, but I mean, okay, you can say it's dangerous. Okay.
I agree with that.
I
I'm like,
do.
yeah.
I have no problem with glass. I do think you need to be aware of it, and it does need to be. You need to be aware of it so that you are more careful of that component and stuff. But I'm not anti-glass. I prefer glass, like the weight of it, over some of the plastic components.
Yeah, that's
the weight is
unfortunately it. That's the thing. Glass does have a great sort of feel. It feels like a loaded poker chip, right? Like the clay.
Yeah.
But no, I don't love glass beads. Now that he says that, I'm like, that's right. Those glass beads are in a bunch of especially older games. and I don't love them.
You went and bought them at the aquarium store. That's
Yep.
how I remember. They're like,
They do chip.
for the
They
bottom
do-
of the fishbowl,
Yep.
good for games.
They do
Yeah,
chip, they do
So
hit
cheap.
against each other and
Yeah.
fracture. Yeah, they're not
I've
great.
never had that. I've owned Sagrada for years and years.
Yep.
Huh.
Same way. I've used those, aquarium chips in games as upgrades and never had a problem with it. So maybe it's a me thing that I've been careful, but
Maybe it's a me thing.
I know.
It's
Okay,
better
maybe
than
it's a
you.
me
Yours
thing.
was
Like I've had good experience with it. That did sound very condescending. That's not how I meant it at all.
You're an idiot.
Maybe I'm awesome.
All right. Let's end with a spicy take here. Let me read the whole thing. Daniel M. says, the game should be done when a crowdfunding campaign launches. He says this should mean, at the very least, all scenarios, etc., are written. Realistically, the rule book should be in final as well. What are you selling if you can't explain the rules yet, unless you are in the room personally to teach? Everything that could be done should be done before you ask people to give money. In a good world, this means you are raising money for manufacturing, packaging, and shipping, not for the creative work of actually inventing the game. Maybe there's an exception for card games where there's a ton of art to be done yet.
Yes, when you add the art thing, that's a big thing. Like maybe some art is the reason you need the money.
It is still mind-blowing to me that some games have been crowdfunded, and then they were like, we haven't finished designing it yet. And I was like, whoa. So people were kickstarting an idea.
I will say this on the defensive. I think that we talk a lot about, is Kickstarter for board games or not? Is it just a pre-order system? Should established companies use Kickstarter, all that type of stuff? If you're an established company, you're using it as a pre-order system, right?
Right.
And that's going to happen whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
Right.
And your game should probably reflect that. It should probably be done. It should probably be developed. But I also know that there are those Cole Whirly Games, or Whirligig Games, has said that they do take that money and then they use it to help pay for their own salaries to do the development of games and whatnot. They're making really niche games, and they're a niche studio. I'm more understanding of that, right? Because this is something that he's taking his own time to do. He's making the money a little bit ahead of time, and then hours of work into it. He also has a good track record. I think if you're a more established company, and that's a slippery slope because what's an established company or not, your product should be more reflective of what the game actually is. If you can have the budget to make big flashy Kickstarter pages, make millions of dollars, have amazing graphics, and all that type of stuff, it should probably be closer to done.
Well, Bryce says here in the chat, you need to be transparent about what you're doing.
I think it comes down to a lot of transparencies, but I also have a hard time putting a foot down hard on this. Do I generally agree? Yes, it should be as developed as possible, so I'm seeing as close as possible to the actual product I'm going to get. But I also have a hard time putting a hard foot down on that, it needs to be done, the rule book needs to be done, because what you're saying at that point is I don't want to leave any room for play testing, for community feedback that you've talked about, any of that fine-tuning at the end that comes that I think ultimately will deliver a better product. If you haven't had the resources and the time to put into playtesting this outside of your local game group, pitching it, outsourcing some of this, do some blind play testing, putting the time into that, which takes away from your main job that you're doing or your family time, all these other things that you have to sacrifice. If that final stuff, some key parts of the game can be narrowed down to deliver a better product at the end, I am completely fine with that. But you need to have a generally pretty good idea. If it is 80% done, that last 20% of development to fine tune to give me the best product possible, I want you to have that. I want you to need that because ultimately I'm going to be happier at the end.
But what do you think if you back a game and then the game is something different when it's delivered?
Then they weren't 80% done.
Like someone mentioned in
That
chat,
goes back to
definitely
this.
True Dragon Legends that happened with.
Yes, right.
Where people backed one kind of game and they were like, nah.
They reworked. Well, they literally
And
were
then
like,
they
we're going to
reworked
start
it.
again.
And that's, what did I do then? Did I back their concept or them as a team?
Did I pay you to work?
Well, you are. You are paying people
I'm
to work.
saying, for your own job. I mean, this is you back the game. I think it's closer to 95%, I think should be done. I think taking community feedback is one thing, but then saying, help me finish this game, you got to finish it before you come here, man.
I agree. I'm more on board with that, and I get it that there are sacrifices there, but that part shouldn't technically cost you anything but your time.
Right.
You're not paying to manufacture. if you're offering us a PDF of a rule book, you type that up on your own time, man. That's part of it. I mean, we are funding your thing here so that you have money to go print it or get an artist. I don't care if it doesn't have artwork, but the game should be mostly done. Like, I think every Kickstarter should have a PDF of read the rules. If I am seriously considering paying you to make this thing and then send me a copy of it, then the rule book should be done.
There's a difference in buying a game than investing in your company. It's like, oh, am I investing in this?
Yeah.
Did you get kickback? No, I'm buying your finished product. That's what now Kickstarter. Kickstarter didn't start off that way, I don't think.
It is moving
But
in that
it's
direction.
moving in that direction
for
now.
sure.
Yeah.
When it started, I think it was, I have this concept. Now I think it's.
I had a cool idea. Let me
Right.
see if people will throw me money, and then I can use that money to continue pursuing that idea, and maybe eventually I'll print it.
That's, yeah.
Like, that's not what I meant. That's not what I'm giving you the money for.
Right. Yeah.
It's changed, and I think that I forget if it's used these that said just the word transparency. Or-
Tom said that.
Yeah, it was in the
Transparency.
comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that transparency is probably the most important part, right?
Yes.
Are you backing an idea, a hope, and a dream? Please say that. Don't advertise it as if it's the next game coming out from an established publisher. Blah, blah, blah,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Here's our idea. Here, I don't know. Here's proof of concept. You got to have proof of concept, but it doesn't need to be a finalized game. But also, the more finalized it is, the more trust I have in actually putting my money towards it.
Right. It's kind of like when we look at a tech product, and we do when we're looking at the funny things at the end of crowd surfing, and it's like a techie thing. They're building a thing, and you clearly can tell every image is just a rendering, like nothing
Right.
exists.
Or the minis.
I'm like,
Or worse.
this isn't a thing. Like,
Yeah.
we are funding your Photoshop skills right now. Like, this is
Right.
not a. Can you make this thing you're saying you can make?
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm not seeing it made.
Well,
You're
see-
showing me pictures of a thing that you like drew.
Right.
We see on the crowdfunding or show a lot with the tech stuff. It's a napkin and a drawing. Those people are really ambitious. They're like,
Yeah.
and you're like, that may not work.
Well, we also see that in minis all the time in the
Yeah.
crowd surfing, where it's like, these are all renderings, though.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
like, or what that I can tell you that pose isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure,
that
sure,
mini
right.
is not going to be stable.
Yes.
Or you're not going to get that detail in it, or
Sure, of
at
course.
this price point,
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty, like I said, if you have more hot takes, send them to me at tom@dicetower.com. If you already sent them in, we'll put them up in the future. When will that be? When I get enough. Well, also, not necessarily when I get enough. A fine line between when I get enough and sometimes it's gone by. Like
See you
tomorrow,
tonight.
Jason's typing away. I got 40.
I got another 4.
The next episode's all me.
I think glass in general.
Alrighty, thank you all. We'll see you later on for Crowd Surfing. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Zee Garcia.
I'm Camilla.
I'm Chris Yee.
And I'm Joey Evans.
Soul games are great. Hey, thanks for watching another video here on the Dice Tower. We really appreciate you stopping by and checking our things out. Thanks so much for joining us today. And hey, if you really like what we're doing here at the Dice Tower, then there are different ways to support the Dice Tower. One of those ways is through Patreon. We have links in the description to this video. And we have links to lots of other things we do down there, so definitely check it out. But either way, we're glad you watched us. Tell your friends about the Dice Tower. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vasel, and I hope you enjoyed this video.